Ever found yourself staring at the screen, questioning the very nature of existence after a game session? Well, you're not alone. Today, we're counting down the top 12 games that will make you rethink life, reality, and everything in between. From philosophical puzzles to emotional journeys, these games don't just entertain, they challenge your perception of life itself. Kicking off the list at number 12 is The Witness. Now, let me paint a picture for you. Imagine waking up on a deserted island, surrounded by lush greenery and ancient ruins. Sounds like paradise, right? Wrong. This isn't your typical tropical getaway. Instead, you're plunged into a world where every step you take reveals another mind-bending puzzle. I wander through the island's intricate paths, my brain twisting like a pretzel with each new challenge. The Witness isn't just about solving puzzles, it's about perception itself. Every pattern, every clue seems to mock me with its simplicity until I crack the code and realize how blind I've been to the obvious. Here's the kicker. These puzzles are more than just obstacles. They're reflections of how we perceive the world around us. Each solution feels like an epiphany, as if I'm peeling back layers of reality to reveal something deeper, something almost profound. As I tackle yet another labyrinthine puzzle, I can't help but think, can we ever truly understand the world? Or are we forever destined to be witnesses, only scratching the surface of its complexities? From questioning reality, let's move to a game that will make you question your very choices.
Yes, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though...
At number 11, we have The Stanley Parable. I find myself in an office staring at a computer screen that looks eerily familiar. I'm Stanley, employee number 427, and my job is to press buttons. Riveting stuff, right? But here's where it gets interesting. One day, all my coworkers vanish. Just like that. Poof, gone. As I wander through the empty office, a disembodied narrator starts speaking, guiding me, or at least trying to. He tells me to take the left door, but what if I want to go right? Suddenly, I'm not just playing a game. I'm locked in a philosophical debate about choice and free will. The real kicker comes when I realize that no matter what I choose, the narrator has something to say about it. I go left, he has a plan. I go right, he has a different plan. Each decision spirals into increasingly bizarre scenarios, from resetting the game to breaking the fourth wall entirely. Are my choices really mine, or am I just following a script laid out by some unseen hand? The game toys with this illusion of control so masterfully that it leaves me questioning every move I make, not just in the game, but in life itself. And just when I think I've got it all figured out, the Stanley Parable throws another curveball, making me wonder if true freedom is ever attainable, or if we're all just players in someone else's narrative. Next up, a game that makes you question fate and mortality. Coming in at number 10 is What Remains of Edith Finch. I step into the shoes of Edith Finch, the last surviving member of a seemingly cursed family. My journey begins as I return to the Finch family home, a towering structure that feels like a living scrapbook filled with memories and secrets. Each room I explore unravels a story, a life cut short by tragic and often bizarre circumstances. One minute, I'm reliving the carefree joy of childhood as I swing higher and higher. The next, I'm grappling with the gut-wrenching realization that this swing might just be the end for that character. It's hauntingly beautiful, like walking through a gallery of life's fleeting moments, frozen in time. The game forces me to reflect on life, death, and the inevitability of fate. Every family member's story leaves an imprint, a stark reminder that our lives are fragile threads in a much larger tapestry. As I piece together these fragmented tales, I can't help but wonder, are we all destined to follow a certain path, or do we have some control over our fate? It's not just about the tragedies, but also about how these lives were lived, brief yet filled with poignant moments. The stories range from the whimsical to the heart-wrenching, each one pulling me deeper into the Finch family's enigmatic past. Speaking of reflection, let's journey into a metaphor for life itself.
That's what I want to remember about my...
Number 9 brings us Journey. I find myself in the middle of an endless desert, a robed figure with no name or face. The sands stretch out to the horizon, shimmering under the sun's relentless glare. As I begin to move, it's clear this isn't just any game. It's a meditation on life, companionship, and connection. The landscape is sparse but breathtaking, each dune and ruin a silent witness to the passage of time. I wander through ancient structures and vast expanses, my only guide a distant mountain, its peak glowing like a beacon. Then, out of nowhere, another robed figure appears. There are no names, no voices, just silent companionship. We move together through the desolate beauty, our paths intertwining without a single word exchanged. There's an unspoken bond forming as we help each other navigate obstacles and share moments of awe at the world around us. The simplicity of these interactions makes me ponder, how do we connect with others in our own life journeys? Often it's not through grand gestures or profound conversations, but through shared experiences and silent understanding. In Journey, every gesture, every leap and glide feels like a conversation, rich with meaning despite the absence of words. Our paths eventually diverge, but that fleeting connection leaves a lasting impression. It's a reminder that even brief encounters can profoundly impact our lives, often in ways we don't fully understand until much later. Now, let's go from serene desert walks to a post-apocalyptic treks. At number 8, we have Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding. I find myself trudging through a desolate landscape as Sam Porter bridges. My mission? To reconnect humanity, one delivery at a time. The world is fragmented, both literally and metaphorically. Isolated cities cling to life, separated by miles of treacherous terrain and invisible threats. Every step I take is heavy, not just with the weight of the cargo on my back, but with the responsibility of knitting society back together. The solitude is palpable. I move through rain-soaked valleys and barren plains, feeling the weight of isolation pressing down. Yet every delivery I make isn't just a job, it's a lifeline. Each successful trip bridges another gap, rekindling hope in a world that seems to have forgotten what connection feels like. It's a reflection on how crucial human connection is, even in the most fractured of worlds. As I walk, the constant ping of my communicator brings brief moments of solace. Voices of those I've helped express gratitude, reminding me that every small effort counts. The game masterfully highlights our innate need for interaction and support, even when separated by vast distances. Through rain and storms, across crumbling bridges and ghostly plains, every package I deliver strengthens the bonds between people. It's not just about survival, it's about rebuilding a sense of community in a world that desperately needs it. From human connection to androids questioning their very existence. Number 7 is the critically acclaimed Nier Automata. I find myself in the role of 2B, an android with a sleek design and a stoic demeanor. Humanity is long gone, and all that's left are machines and androids, locked in an endless war. The irony isn't lost on me. Here I am, a machine, battling other machines, all in the name of humans who no longer exist. The world is hauntingly beautiful and desolate. As I traverse the ruins of once great cities, the emptiness weighs heavily on me. It is not just the absence of people, it's the absence of purpose. What are we fighting for? Why do we continue this cycle? 2B's journey is one of existential questioning. Every skirmish with the enemy brings more doubt. The more I interact with other characters, like the curious and philosophical 9S or the enigmatic A2, the more I ponder our existence. Are we just following our programming? Or is there something more? In one particularly jarring moment, I come across a group of machines mimicking human behaviors, laughing, crying, even forming relationships. It's unsettling and oddly touching at the same time. These machines are trying to find meaning in their own way, just like us androids. The game dives deep into what it means to be alive, and what it means to lose that sense of meaning. Every revelation about our origins and purpose feels like another layer being peeled back, exposing the raw, uncomfortable truth beneath. Next, we dive into a journey through mental illness and inner demons. At number 6, it's Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. I step into the shoes of Senua, a Celtic warrior haunted by voices and visions. The world around me is shrouded in mist and darkness, echoing the turmoil within her mind. As I journey through this bleak landscape, the line between reality and illusion blurs with every step. The voices, some encouraging, others mocking, never cease. They whisper, shout, and argue, creating a cacophony that makes it hard to distinguish friend from foe. It's not just about fighting external enemies, it's about battling the demons within. Every shadowy figure I encounter feels like an extension of Senua's psyche, a manifestation of her deepest fears and regrets. Each confrontation leaves me questioning what is real and what is a figment of her tortured mind. The game doesn't just depict psychosis, it immerses me in it. I feel the weight of Senua's burden as if it were my own, each step forward a struggle against overwhelming odds. It's an emotional and philosophical experience that forces me to consider the fragility of reality and the power of the human mind. As I navigate through the harrowing trials, solving intricate puzzles, and facing nightmarish creatures, I realize that Senua's journey is as much about finding inner peace as it is about physical survival. Now let's tackle some big philosophical questions through puzzles. Number 5 is the puzzle-heavy The Talos Principle. I find myself in a strange yet serene world, surrounded by ancient ruins and futuristic technology. The setting feels like a paradox, much like the questions it throws at me. Each step leads me to intricate puzzles that twist my brain into knots. But it's not just about solving them, it's about the journey and the questions they raise. In this world full of puzzles, I confront questions of artificial intelligence, consciousness, and what it means to be human. As I manipulate blocks and redirect beams of light, I can't help but feel a deeper meaning behind each task. Am I just following instructions, or is there a higher purpose? The voice of Elohim, the godlike figure guiding me, fills the air with wisdom and warnings. He speaks of life, death, and purpose in ways that make me pause and reflect. Am I just a creation meant to solve these puzzles, or do I possess something more, an essence of humanity? As I progress, the game challenges me with philosophical questions about life, death, and purpose. Each terminal I encounter offers texts and recordings that delve into existential dilemmas. They make me question my own beliefs about reality and what it means to truly exist. Every solved puzzle feels like peeling back another layer of understanding. The deeper I go, the more complex the questions become, blurring the line between machine and human. Next, a game where every choice has consequences.
And I need you to answer without the snark.
Sorry. I hear you. I'll do better about replying.
Coming in at number 4 is Life is
Is that what you
Strange.
wanted to talk
I step into the shoes of Max Caulfield, a teenager who discovers she has the ability to rewind time. Picture this, you're sitting in a high school classroom, minding your own business, when suddenly you can manipulate time itself. Cool, right? But here's the catch. Every choice you make, big or small, has consequences. The game opens with a bang. I'm in a storm, watching a lighthouse crumble, when I suddenly wake up back in class. The power to rewind time isn't just a gimmick, it's a lifeline. As I navigate through the hallways of Blackwell Academy, I start to see how each decision ripples through the lives of those around me. I save my friend Chloe from an untimely death by rewinding time and stepping in at the right moment. But that's just the beginning. Each time I use my power, I wonder, am I fixing things or making them worse? The ability to change the past seems like a blessing until I see how it alters people's futures in unexpected ways. The game dives deep into themes of friendship, loss, and responsibility. Every interaction feels loaded with significance because I know that one wrong move could lead to unforeseen consequences. Max's journey is a constant balancing act. Should I use my power to help others, even if it means altering their destinies?
You should see the other
Let's
guy.
now take a hard look at the morality of
I
war.
heard you had a hell of a night in the city.
Including what happened to Conrad?
Exactly. We can make contact with the CIA, then we'll find
Number
out.
3 is Spec Ops, The Line. On the surface, it's a third-person shooter, but dig deeper and you'll find a game that questions the morality of war. I step into the boots of Captain Martin Walker, leading a Delta Force team into a sandstorm-ravaged Dubai. My mission? Find Colonel Conrad and his battalion. At first, it feels like any other military shooter. Lots of gunfire, tactical maneuvers, and gritty landscapes. But then things start to twist. The sandstorm isn't just a backdrop, it's a suffocating presence, mirroring the chaos in my mind. Every decision weighs heavy. I find myself in situations where there are no good choices, only varying degrees of bad. Do I shoot the civilians to save my team? Do I risk my men to protect innocents? Each choice peels back another layer of horror, revealing the true cost of war. It forces me to confront the dark consequences of my actions, making me wonder, what's the true cost of war? I'm not just pulling a trigger, I'm setting off ripples that affect everyone around me. The lines between right and wrong blur until they're almost indistinguishable. And then there's the white phosphorus scene, a moment so gut-wrenching that it leaves me questioning everything. The screams, the devastation, it's all too real. By the time I reach Conrad, I realize the enemy isn't just out there, it's within me. Now let's explore a tale of brotherhood, sacrifice, and loss. At number 2, we have Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. I find myself guiding two brothers on a journey that's as heart-wrenching as it is beautiful. The game doesn't waste any time. It plunges me right into their world, where their father lies ill and the only hope for his recovery is a distant, mythical tree. The brothers, one older and one younger, must rely on each other to navigate this perilous quest. Controlling both characters simultaneously feels like patting my head and rubbing my belly at the same time. It's awkward at first, but soon I realize that this mechanic mirrors the bond between the siblings. They are two halves of a whole, each with unique abilities that complement the other. The older brother is strong and can pull levers or lift his sibling to higher ledges. The younger brother, smaller and more agile, can squeeze through tight spaces and calm aggressive animals. As we traverse through serene landscapes and dark caverns, I'm struck by the depth of their relationship. The way they communicate without words, relying on gestures and shared experiences, reminds me of my own bonds with loved ones. It's a powerful reflection on family, loss, and the lengths we go to for the people we love. The challenges they face aren't just physical, they're emotional. Each puzzle and obstacle feels like a test of their bond, pushing them, and me, to our limits. Whether it's braving icy waters or escaping from dangerous creatures, every moment is a testament to their resilience and love for their father. And finally, the game that makes you rethink every choice you make. Topping our list at number 1 is Shadow of the Colossus. I find myself in a vast, hauntingly beautiful landscape. The air is thick with a sense of ancient history, every corner hiding secrets long forgotten. My mission is simple, yet harrowing, to bring my loved one back from the brink of death. The cost? Slaying towering colossi that roam this desolate world. The first Colossus rises before me like a living mountain, each step shaking the ground beneath my feet. As I climb its fur-covered back, my heart pounds not just from the effort, but from the moral weight of my actions. These giants aren't malevolent, they're majestic, almost sacred beings. With every giant I slay, a dark mist seeps into me, a stark reminder that each victory comes with a price. The once tranquil landscapes become stained with my deeds, and I begin to question, is saving one life worth the cost of these monumental sacrifices? Each Colossus falls with a mix of triumph and sorrow, their deaths still echoing through the silent valleys. The game quietly nudges me to reflect on my actions. Am I a hero or a villain? What am I truly fighting for? The line between right and wrong blurs with every defeated giant, leaving me to grapple with the consequences of my quest. And that's it, 12 games that'll leave you pondering life's biggest questions. And that's it, 12 games that'll leave you pondering life's biggest questions. From unraveling puzzles in The Witness to battling your inner demons in Hellblade, these games go beyond entertainment. They make you think about life in ways you never expected. Each one pulls you into its world, challenges your perceptions, and leaves you with questions that linger long after the screen goes dark. So next time you pick up the controller, remember, games aren't just about winning. Sometimes they're about exploring the deepest corners of our minds. If you enjoyed this list, hit that like button and tell me in the comments which game made you think the most. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more existential gaming goodness. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the real game is figuring out what it all means.